Hello and welcome to another video. My name is Boxiest, and today we're going to continue the What If series. What if events had gone differently? And in this What If, we're going to change the history of Cobra Kai. What if Demetri joined Cobra Kai? Part 2. So this is a continuation to What if Demetri joined Cobra Kai during the events of Cobra Kai Season 1. That is an older What if you want to go watch it before continuing this one. So in this timeline, Demetri and Hawk would be in Cobra Kai, and Cobra Kai would still have a rivalry with Miyagi Fang. Carice would hear that Daniel and Johnny had teamed up, so Carice would still get Terry Silver in this timeline, and those events would stay the same, and Terry Silver would start training the Cobra Kai students, and Terry would take an interest in Demetri because he would remind him of his younger self, so Terry would train Demetri one-on-one. The events of Season 4 would continue, and at Miyagi Fang, Miguel and Robbie would start to get along with the help of Sam. Kenny would still be picked on by Anthony in this timeline, but since Robbie never went to juvie in this timeline, Sean wouldn't recommend he go to Robbie, so Kenny would continue to be bullied, so those events would stay the same. The relationship between Johnny and Robbie would start to improve. And the season would carry on. Hawk and a couple other Cobras would want to mess with the Miyagi Fangs, but the Miyagi Fangs would fight back. Terry and Carice would still confront Johnny and Daniel, and Terry would still get into Daniel's head. So much like in the original timeline, Daniel and Johnny would still fight, and it would still end in a tie. So Daniel and Johnny would still want to go their separate ways, but Johnny would see that their students were getting along, and that Miguel and Robbie managed to work past their differences. He also wouldn't want to ruin his relationship with Robbie, so Daniel and Johnny wouldn't go their separate ways in this timeline, and they would continue to work together. Season 4 would carry on, and it would be pretty uneventful. And the night of the All Valley, Miyagi Fang and Cobra Kai would compete, and they would advance in their matches. Demetri, Hawk, Robbie, and Miguel would all make it to the qualifier rounds. Demetri would fight Robbie in the semifinals. Demetri would be fighting aggressively, and he would use offense, but Robbie would use a combination of offense and defense, and he would defeat Demetri, so he would advance to the finals. Hawk and Miguel would fight in the semifinals. Hawk would still want to get his revenge on Miguel, and he would be fighting with anger, but Miguel would be composed, and he would fight using a combination of offense and defense, so Miguel would defeat Hawk in this timeline, and he would advance to the finals. Robbie and Miguel would fight, but they would have mutual respect for one another. Both Miguel and Robbie would be balanced, and they would be focused on their fight. And much like Hawk and Robbie went to sudden death in the original timeline, so would Miguel and Robbie. They would both use a combination of offense and defense, but Miguel would get the upper hand, and he would score the last point on Robbie. So Miguel would be the two-time All Valley champion. Miyagi Fang would celebrate. Tori and Sam would still fight in the girls' finals. Sam would use a combination of offense and defense, and she would be more concentrated, and even though the referee was on Tori's side, Sam would still defeat her, so Sam would be the girls' All Valley champion. Miyagi Fang would win overall. Many students would want to join Miyagi Fang. The season would end in a very similar way. Terry and Carice would be mad that they lost, but since Carice never made his deal with Daniel and Johnny, Cobra Kai would remain open. Cobra Kai would continue to expand and grow, but it wouldn't be to the scale of the original timeline. Carice and Terry would continue to run Cobra Kai together. Hawk and Demetri would continue to train at Cobra Kai. And that is where I'm going to end this What If. Thank you guys for watching. What do you guys think would have happened if Demetri joined Cobra Kai? Let me know in the comments below. During the events of Cobra Kai Season 1, YouTube lets me know that the majority of you are not subscribed, so if you guys could subscribe, that would be much appreciated. Thank you guys for watching. Make sure to like this video, subscribe, and turn on post notifications.